Hi there. This recording is to review some of the services that are available to our students, whether you're a student of Southwest Texas Junior College or you're a Sul-Ross University student. You have access to our services for free. Our library website is library.swtjc.edu. Again, our website is library.swtjc.edu. If you don't remember how to our email address, you can access our email address through the junior college's website. Of course, the junior college is swtjc.edu, and you can find the library link under academics, and it'll take you to our web page. If you get stuck or have any questions, you can access a librarian by clicking Ask a Question. It'll take you to a chat box that'll be located at the bottom right-hand corner, where you can click to open that chat box up, enter your contact information and your question, and we will get to you. We will respond to you pretty quickly. We always have someone sitting at the desk monitoring this to make sure that we're giving you the help that you need. You can reserve a room here, and we have our project and subject guides here. There's information about the library, its policies, the missions, our mission and our vision. Don't be worried with this login feature here. That is only if you are off campus, which you probably will be using the library's website when you're at home or at work. And you really don't have to log in unless you're prompted to do so. If you're accessing our databases or trying to look for a book, you'll be taken to a page that'll ask you to log in. The way you log in is with your username and your password, and you should only have to log in once. Again, if you have any problems logging in, don't hesitate to give us a call. Our contact information is down here at the bottom. If you are looking for the Uvalde Library, our telephone number is down here. We have our Crystal City Library with their contact information, and again, you can always reach us by clicking Ask a Question. Normally, Monday through Thursday, we close at 9 o'clock. On Fridays, we close at 5. No, on Fridays, we close at 4. We're closed on Saturdays, but we're open on Sundays from 1 to 6. Okay, again, on campus, you won't need to log in at all. Off campus, you'll probably be directed to a page where you have to use your credentials. Okay. Some of you have already utilized our rooms for study groups. When you click on room reservations, you can choose any location where we have study rooms available, and even click which room you want to use to study. We have a small room and a large room, we have a conference room, and we have an entire computer lab. To book one of these rooms, you click on Book Now, and then decide what day. If it's today, the next day you click forward until you find the day that you're looking for. So on September 7th, if you want to reserve this room at 1 o'clock, it'll take you then to enter your contact information with stuff about how many people you were expecting. Once you do that, and you want to use your room, you get to the library and let us borrow your ID card, and we'll give you the key to the room. About Us will take you to our events and our calendar. On our calendar includes events that are all over our locations, whether it's in Uvalde or Eagle Pass or Del Rio. We should be adding some of these workshops in our Crystal City location. But if you're interested in attending one of these workshops, you can click on, let's say, Research 101 in Uvalde at 2 o'clock. When you click on that, it'll ask you to sign up by using your email, name, and phone number. If there are no more spots available, it'll let you know that all 24 spots are taken up and ask you if you'd like to be put on a waiting list, or maybe choose another day that the program is being offered. But again, that was under About Us and Calendar. We have several workshops that we're implementing this semester that have to do with plagiarism and paraphrasing, research, the ins and outs of research, using APA and MLA, navigating our databases, and all kinds of events that you can find here, like there's a banned book event in Eagle Pass. Okay. The subject and program guide is important to you because it will take you to a list of topics. Your topic for this particular presentation is health and nursing. When you click on health and nursing, we have some links that are associated with your classes. We have links to Gray's Anatomy, the Texas Administrative Code, the National Institute of Nursing Research. There are all kinds of associations that deal with nursing. We also include associations for radiologic technologies and other places on the web that are of interest to medical professions. We also have a short video on evaluating websites, the CDC and the Mayo Clinic. These are all pretty good sites that you'll be using throughout your courses. The big thing that I want to talk about today is searching for articles using our databases. And you can actually do this in two different ways. One way is by using our discovery search, which is right on our front page. And actually, if you go to any of our pages, that search bar is always there. Whether it's the resource room or you want to go to our policies and procedures page, that you can search from any page because that discovery bar is always there. You can either search using the discovery bar or you can go directly to your databases. I'm going to give you an idea of how the discovery bar works. So I'm going to search for, let's see, urinary tract infections. When you're using the discovery bar, it searches everything that we have, whether it's using our basic encyclopedia, where it just gives you basic information about urinary tract infections, or you want to use something a little bit more research backed. We have our limiters that are here on the left side. As you can see, there's 45,273 articles that we have access just by doing the urinary tract infections. One way to limit this is to check whether you want full text. I always check full text because I figured if I'm going to use it for my work, I better be able to read the whole thing, not just the abstract. And you'll always want to check off scholarly journals or peer-reviewed journals. They're the same thing, different terms. And it kind of lowered the number of articles that we got because this is only focusing on research articles that are peer-reviewed from peer-reviewed journals. The other thing that you want to use to limit is the dates. Right now it has articles as early as 1908 and as recently as 2018. Because you are searching for medical information, you probably want something nothing less than 5 years old. So I'm going to change this date to 2013. Whoops. To 2013. And it's updating my results. And wow, that didn't change very much, 31,000. So now you can see that we have limited our results by having full text only, peer-reviewed journals, make sure the library has it, and published between 2018, it still says 1913. To clear them, I'm just going to check that X, and it should be working. To redo this, now I'm going to slide this bar over since it didn't like me typing it in. I'm going to go 2013. Now let's see. Ha! That time it worked. Now I have 12,369 articles. So it did make a big difference of what kind of information I got back. Okay, so now you can see urinary tract infection, which are my search terms, are kind of bolded. Well, not kind of, they are bolded. So that's what made these articles show up. If you want to limit it even further, you can limit your resources by using only academic journals, and it tells you how many are there. Magazines aren't going to be helpful in your research. Trade publications, neither. You may want to use conference materials or reports, but I would also limit it to only academic journals. And you'll see that the number is reflected by our hits, 11,595. Now that's not the only way to limit. We can limit by subject, geography or language. You can limit it by database, and this will tell you what kind of databases we're using. Mostly health professionals tend to use CINAHL or Medline. These are the standard in the health industry, in the medical industry. And again, you can see how many are accessed through these two companies. By subject, there's many subjects that you can use to limit your results. I just clicked show more, and you can see how many of each article for each subject heading. Let's say I want only to see about bacteriuria. The symptoms, 262. Let's do the symptoms and update. So now it brought back the 262 articles that talk about urinary tract infections and the symptoms associated with that. So let's take this first one. Is there any relationship between ureteral DJ stent colonization and lower urinary tract symptom severity? If you can either click on this title or click on full text. The difference is, if you click on full text, it's going to show you the article, the actual article. You can see that there's 6 pages to this article. If I'm going to go back to the result list, if I click on the title that's blue, not on the PDF full text, it'll take me to a screen that shares information with me about the article, kind of like giving me a preview, like a movie preview at the theater. This is giving you a preview. This is where you'll find the abstract and any subject terms. And you'll see that the blue bolded urinary tract infections and symptoms are my search terms. And the third search term is surgical stents. The other thing you'll need is the citation. We have, anywhere you see this icon, the sheet of paper, if you click on that or the word cite, it'll take you to a citation format screen. I know you're using APA, and you would just copy and paste the citation onto your paper. You always do want to check the APA manual and make sure that it is in the right format, so that you know you're citing your paper correctly. Okay. Let's go to the PDF full text, and when you're first looking at an article, you do want to kind of browse through the abstract. There's different parts of an article that you'll need to help you understand what you're reading about. The introduction usually talks about why this study is necessary. The materials and method is exactly that. Tells you who they used, what they used, and how they used them to conduct this study. The results will tell you what they found out. A lot of it is pretty technical. Sometimes you'll have tables or charts that explain what the results were, and then you get to the discussion part. The discussion part is really the most interesting part because it tells you not only what the results were of the study, but what it all means. The so what. Okay, you did this research, you conducted this study, you got these results, so what? In the discussion, it'll talk about the so what part. And the conclusions usually say, they usually wrap it up in a nice bubble that says, oh, and we probably need to do more research on this. Again, the meat of it is in the discussion. Okay, let's go back to our result list. Okay, so that was using our discovery search, and we used our limiters here. So I want to show you now what it would look like if I went directly to the databases. When we first did that search, we used our discovery bar. Okay, under databases, our databases are arranged by topic, and the topic you're interested in today is health and medicine. When you click on the health and medicine tab, all of the databases that we subscribe to having to do with health and medicine are under this tab. We have CINAHL Complete, which is one of the ones that's most popular. We also have MedCom Streaming Videos, which are videos that will show you about procedures. And we have Medline. Okay. Let's take a look at the MedCom Streaming Videos. And these are courses or video courses that are put out by the state of Texas. And you can click on any one of these videos to watch as many times as you want and take notes. So let's stick with urinary tract infection. Urinary system, how the body ages. Oh, I don't want to know about that because I'm old. Okay, so let's click on the urinary system. It has instructions on the video, the course review, and talks about all of the components of the urinary system. We can go to the next one, and modes of play, you can watch the entire program or you watch any video section. If you'd want just to look at the kidneys, we can go straight to that and the video will start. It provides you with the text of whatever the narrator is saying and with a video. You can stop, you can take notes, you can rewind, you can go back to the former screen, you can go straight to another section. And these are really awesome videos because they're full color and just great to help you with your studies. Okay, again, that was under databases, health and medicine, and MedCom streaming videos. Okay. I do want to show you the CINAHL. CINAHL is one of my favorites. And you have this search bar here, and you need to know that you're only searching the CINAHL database. When you think of a database, I imagine filing cabinets. So CINAHL is one big filing cabinet with a bunch of different drawers. If I went to another database like Medline, Medline is a whole other filing cabinet. And even though they may look the same here in this area, they are a little different. This one has the CINAHL headings listed, and this one has the mesh headings. Okay, mesh headings are medical subject headings that we'll talk about a little bit more in just a little bit. Okay, let's use the CINAHL and continue with urinary tract infection. Since we're just searching this database, this filing cabinet, remember we narrowed it down to, by database also, we have those 11,000 that we were looking for. I do want full text. And because this is CINAHL, they are automatically all peer-reviewed journal. That's why it's not one of our limiters here. I want to limit the year to 2013. I want to limit it to only academic journals. And now you'll notice that our limiters changed a little bit here. We have major subject headings, antibiotics, the catheter-related infections, microbial drug resistance, spinal cord injuries associated with urinary tract infections. We also have age and gender limiters. So maybe you want to know what kind of complications or things happen in urinary tract infections associated with women, or you want children between the ages of 13 and 18, or all children. Let's say adolescents, that's 113, and you only want to focus and it took out gender, so there's no articles having to do with male and female children. Let's say child 6 to 12. It's still thinking about it. And now we have our 52 articles. Cranberries for preventing recurrent urinary tract infections in uncircumcised boys, species distribution and antibiotic susceptibility profile of bacteria. Wow, that one sounds interesting. And again, you can say, I want antibiotics, to see what kind of studies have been done with antibiotics treating urinary tract infections in children. If you forget what your search terms were, remember that your main search term was here, urinary tract infection. We wanted to narrow it by full text and date. We want only academic journals, and we're looking for articles about adolescents between 13 and 18 and children 6 to 12. And having to do with antibiotics. I'm going to remove this because I only want to focus on children before the teenage years. Again, you can access the article by either clicking on the PDF full text or clicking on the title to get more information about this. Let's look at antibiotic susceptibility of bacteria isolated from urinary cultures taken from children. So the subjects are urinary tract infections and antibiotics, specifically having to do with drug therapy and microbiology. Okay, there's 5 images in this article, and let's take a look at it. Okay, this article is 7 pages long. It gives you information about the authors, the abstract. There's the materials and the method. Okay, it looks like this side is in English and this side is in a different language. That's pretty cool. Oh, only this side is in English. The rest of the article is in a different language. So So that's not going to be very helpful for us unless you can read this. Let's go back to our result list and go back to our limiters and say, it was in Turkish, I only want to read English language published material. Let me see. Antibiotic sensitivity and resistance in children with urinary tract infection in Şanlıurfa. Okay, go back to the full, let's go to the full text. Okay, we have, oh, why is this happening to me? It's still in another language. I just lied to you. I didn't want the Turkish one. How funny. Let's see what happens in this first one. Maybe this one will be in English. Ta-da! It is in English. Okay, so again, there's the abstract. The title talks about who the authors are. The DOI is important in your citation. Introduction, again, will tell you about why they thought this research project was important. Talks about the materials and the methods. They used children younger than 15. The study was done between January 2005 and December 2008. The criteria for complicated urinary tract infections. And there are the results. It tells you that 242 patients were included in the study. 70% were girls. Talks about the treatment that was used and the cultures that they saw. There's the discussion, the so what of it, and the sources that they used. To cite this source, remember you have the icon that looks like a sheet of paper. When you click on that, I want the APA. There's the DOI, that's important. Copy and paste this. Double check with your APA manual to make sure it's still in the right form. You can save this article to your Google Drive. You can print this article out, or you can save it to your folder. When you save to your folder, this folder, you'll need to sign in to your EBSCOhost folder. If you've never signed into your EBSCOhost folder, see, this is where you'll need to sign in. It's telling you, okay, I'm a Southwest Texas Junior College user, so I'm going to click here, and I'm going to sign in. Hopefully my password will work. I'm guessing it's not going to because I'm recording this, and of course it wants to embarrass me. There we go. It's taking me to my EBSCOhost folder, which is not working here. When you first log into your EBSCOhost folder, you sign in. You're signing in to your EBSCO. There it is. Yes, that's the one I wanted. And now when I save things to my folder, it's going to stay with me throughout my college career. You can save things that you've accessed in previous semesters, and as long as you have access to EBSCOhost, you can access articles and journals that you've saved. Okay. Let's try that again. So under your EBSCOhost folder, if I wanted to save this folder, save this article, I'm going to add it to my folder. Now it's in there. When I check my folder, my articles that I've saved are in this folder where I can go back and review it at a later time. Now that it's in my folder and I access the PDF of it, I can download it, I can bookmark it. Again, I can use the citation tools or save it to my Google Drive. Okay. Right. Let's see. Let's review a little bit. We went to databases, and then we went to health and medicine, and we've been working with CINAHL. I do want to take you to Medcom. I'm sorry, not Medcom, Medline, and show you how that works a little differently with the mesh headings. Again, mesh headings are medical subject headings. So if you're looking for urinary tract infections, let's browse this term. It takes you to kind of like a buffet of terms that may be associated to urinary tract infections. So it asks for anti-infective agents. You can use urinary tract infections. There's really not very many others that you can search for. These on the side, just urinary tract, it gives you the option to explode, and when you choose explode, what it's telling you is that exploding headings will include other terms associated with urinary tract infections. It'll search urinary tract, it'll search urinary tract infections. Okay. If you want urinary tract infections to be the major concept, it will add that to your search, urinary tract infection as a major concept. Now, these are all the subheadings associated with urinary tract infections. We have diet therapy, epidemiology. Let's see if there's anything associated with genetics. If I click on that balloon, it'll tell you, describe what that subject heading is. So I'm going to talk about, let me see if it's genetic. I do want to know about the mortality associated with urinary tract infections and complications. Okay, anything I'm adding is going to be added to my search terms here. Okay. Now I'm going to search the databases for those things that I just looked for, and I have 1,617. Again, I'm going to go back and limit my full text. I do want English language. It's funny how that they put it up at the very top. And I do want to limit the date to the last 5 years. Okay, 69. That's pretty, it's not a bad number to have available. I do want to look only for articles that conducted studies on females. 49. And let's say age 80 and over. So there are my 11 articles. This is an editorial. This is an academic journal. I do want to focus only on academic journals. Decreasing catheter-associated urinary tract infections in the neurological intensive care unit. 1 unit's success. These authors have a little bit about themselves here, and these are our mesh terms. Catheter-related infections, etiology, nursing. These bolded are my search terms that I added. And it's got only one image. If I click on that image, it takes me directly to the image of the chart that is being used in the article. Okay. Same thing, here's my citation tool. There's APA. I want to point out something on this citation. This citation is incorrect. APA, the APA manual says that only the first letter of the title of the article should be capitalized. Every word in this title is capitalized. So copying and pasting will help, but it's not always perfect. If you were using this citation in your paper, you'd have to correct that that part of the title. Decreasing should be the only capital D. Everything else, since it's not a proper noun, it does not need to be capitalized. After the colon, the letter 0, the letter O in 1 should be capitalized, but units success should not be capitalized. I'm glad this example came up. It is nice having these citations ready for you to copy and paste, but it also helps to reiterate the importance of having your own APA manual and being able to say, oh gosh, this one's wrong, I better fix it once you put it in your paper. If I could add this article to my folder, and here's the full text. Okay. Now, as I understand it, you may be doing some projects where you might be preparing some presentations or flyers, pamphlets, posters for community outreach. We do have some databases in Spanish, like Salud en Español and Medic Latina. Those are those have specific articles in Spanish that you can use in translating your information. And I also want to let you get some information about our Educator Resource Room. It's not only for educators, it's actually mostly for students. It is free for you to use. If you're creating posters or flyers or banners that you're using for a classroom assignment or to reach out as part of the community that you're doing for an assignment, this resource is for you and it's free. Like I said, as long as it's being used for classroom assignments or for projects. If you are using it for personal use, that's perfectly fine. This is where our pricing starts, and you can get a discount if you bring in non-perishable food items that we can donate to our food pantry. For every non-perishable food item you bring in, you can get 5% off, up to 25% discount. And basically what we're doing is to keep this resource room running. We are only charging the cost of the materials. Faculty are free to use this, and the community is free to use this as well. Faculty in the community, we do charge for using the resource room, but only for the materials, and like I said, students are not charged at all. I know this was a lot of information to take in. I would love to encourage you to attend one of our events. Maybe attend the Research 101 or attend Navigating Databases. We have that one coming up in October. We have Navigating Databases on the 3rd of October, and I think I missed it at the end of September. Yep, Navigating Databases is the first part. We can go over what we just went over today and answer any kind of specific questions or any questions that come up. We'd love to see you at one of our workshops, and these are hands-on workshops where we practice what we're teaching you, so it's not just lecture. If you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. Our direct number to the library is 830-591-2929. 7252. Again, we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions. And if you want to stop by and ask questions personally, we'd love to see you. Thank you so much for your attention. Bye-bye.